The following is a paid advertisement. The views expressed are the sole responsibility of the advertiser.
I'm attorney Justin Clark. Coming up just on You Have Real Estate, you're thinking about a career change into real estate, or you're a young agent thinking about where to hang your shingle. What do you do? That's all just ahead at You Have Real Estate. Your debt does not have to control your life. You have the power to potentially lower or even eliminate your debt. I'm attorney Justin Clark. Call me now for a free consultation or visit youhavepower.com and take back control of your financial life.
You Have Real Estate is proudly sponsored by Renewal by Andersen, your full-service window and door replacement company. Learn more at rbafla.com.
Welcome to You Have Real Estate, brought to you by Renewal by Andersen. I am your host, Justin Clark. A great show ahead for you today, but first, the opening statement. I get this question a lot. It is, I want to get into real estate, but I don't really know how to do it. And should I be a real estate agent? What do you do in that situation, and how much work does it really take? Because a lot of people say, well, you're a real estate agent, all you have to do is work on the weekends, you got the whole week off. Can you be successful as a real estate agent without that amazing drive? Wonderful question, a question that we're going to answer today by asking real questions. Every weekend here on the program, we ask real questions to the truly trend-setting people in Central Florida's real estate community. Kick it off today with a very special guest. He's never been on the show. Happy to have him. Ken Posek's here. Ken, I'm going to be honest with you. So when we first started talking about having you on the show, people were like, I don't even know if he'll want to come on your show, because this is like the real estate guru in Central Florida. So welcome, man. Good to have you.
Anything for you, man.
Let's talk about people out there who want to get into this real estate as a career. Because I think there's this misnomer that real estate can be easy. You just have to show a few houses on the weekends and you party all week and have nothing else to do. What do you tell someone who's thinking about getting into real estate?
It depends on your level of success. There's a lot of part-time agents. There was a stat the other day I heard that like something 70% of real estate agents last year sold 0 to 1 home. And so they got their license to help their friend, their mom, their grandma, and then maybe they keep up with it on the side. Maybe they wanted to be an investor. But 70%, 30% of the deals are done by, or 30% of the agents do the majority of the deals. And so I think Central Florida, the average agent sold 2 houses or something like that. So for the most part, you're not going to get rich. It's not super easy. And I think people get into it many times for the wrong reasons.
Your story is interesting, fascinating, in fact, and somewhat like mine. I moved to Florida from Boston 17 years ago. I didn't know one person in Florida. You come from Detroit, you're down here on vacation with your wife, and you're like, you know what? There's no winter here necessarily. let's pack up and move to Florida. But yet you've created this amazing real estate team. How has that happened?
So we got into this really from a media component, where we realized instead of me just trying to sell a house, I wanted to sell a community. And so we've got really deep in this idea of Orlando's amazing with the best theme parks in the world, but we're so much more than that. And so from the arts and just all the other kind of cool stuff that we have here, we have historic cities and we have just different kind of perspective that a lot of people don't realize. And so I decided to create some content, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and we've built this sort of media area to show off everything going on here. And through that, people from all around the world have reached out. And so we've become a bit of a powerhouse here locally, and super grateful.
I mean, content, I think, is king in a lot of ways right now, and maybe some agents don't really know how to use content to help them drive business. What would you tell that agent?
I think, reverse engineer it of like, what's your ideal client that you're trying to go after? Again, most of the time they're not, I'm the greatest real estate agent in the world, look at me. It's what's in it for them. And I think that a lot of business owners in general, whether it's in real estate, although unfortunately real estate's very prone to this, where it's like, look how great I am. It's the shot with the car and the big commission checks. And there's been whole TV shows created around this. And just the reality of it is, it's not that. I'm trying to help somebody with their biggest asset and figure out like what's most important to them. And so we kind of reverse engineer what's most important. So for us, our ideal client is either somebody looking to move within Orlando or has no idea what's going on in Orlando, so they find us online. And so we realize that if we can lead with value, that real estate sales just kind of come from that.
When you think back on your trajectory since being in Florida, and now how you're in the very, very upper tier when it comes to teams, we're talking about a lot of revenue that you're creating. When you look back on that, How does it make you feel? And do you feel like there was a lot of luck there? Was this all hard work? I mean, you must feel amazing about what you've created.
I feel super grateful, and it's definitely not just me. I've got a team of like over 50 people now, and I've got this, I feel this immense sense of responsibility to make sure that we're continuing to push the bar for them, and then also just for the city. I think that the cities, I've just fallen in love with Orlando, greater Orlando. I say, it's funny, people are like, I'm from Orlando, but like, are you from the city? Or like, yeah. But I've just fallen in love with the area and everything that's going on here, the people, and so for me, I feel like the responsibility of making sure my people win, as well as our city, keeps me pushing forward, and so just gratitude.
Yeah, and the market here, I think, might be a little bit different than the rest of America in some ways too, and changed even since you and I have been in Orlando. Buyers from out of the country. We have Disney World. We have the parks. When you see these articles in USA Today or whatever it is about the market is collapsing nationwide. This market can be a little bit different, don't you think?
It's so dynamic and it is a bit resilient. So things change from time to time. Like we had a boom in short-term rentals for a while, and then that slowed down. But then you have this other place where people are just wanting to move to Florida. We have a lot of people moving from Miami up that are like, I got priced out down there, now I'm moving up here. People from hurricanes on the coasts that are like, I want to get somewhere that's a little bit more safe. And so Orlando is so dynamic, and we offer so much different stuff. I think is why we don't see the huge swings.
Yeah. Social media, obviously, has been important to you and been huge in your life and your career. It can be bad for real estate agents as well at times if they post things that maybe some people don't like. What advice do you have to especially younger real estate agents out there for posting on social? I think,
don't try to be someone else. Like that's the thing. I feel like there's these trends, and like be respectful of like who you're going after, like the TikTok dances and all that stuff. Nobody's calling you from that, right? So be professional, but then also like find your own voice. You don't have to constantly mimic someone else. They're hiring you for you many times, and so finding your authentic voice just comes over time. And so the other big thing is like you can't post once and then hope that you're going to get a ton of business. For us, we put up thousands of pieces of content and been able to refine it over time.
For a younger agent who is looking, where do I hang my shingle? What team am I going to attach myself to? How important is that decision, you think, for younger agents out there?
It's huge. There's so many learning things that you have to go through. Not just, most people are like, oh, I love houses, they're pretty, so I want to be a real estate agent or something. Lead generation is really important, going after understanding how to take care of clients in a really big way. So the advent of teams, you see teams everywhere now. It used to be, that was like not a thing. So if I was a new agent, I'd probably join a team or a brokerage that's going to offer a ton of value up front in terms of learning, because if not, you'll be one of the statistics that get in and get out.
Yeah. For a younger agent, why would they want to join you?
So for us, we're a holistic approach. We like to say, yes, we're a media company, but we're also a training organization. And so for us, we've got mentors and people underneath us that are going to help them get where they want to go. We've got the media team, the inside sales team, the transaction coordination team. All they have to do is show up and learn how to take care of the client, which is most of the time why people got into business. And so we handle everything else for them.
I think we started with 7 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock, and I said this is not going to be nearly enough. And now we've even gone over, man. We have to do this again.
Let's do it.
I feel like we have not even scratched the surface yet. Ken Posek, good to see you, bro.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, we're doing this again, you promise?
Definitely.
Here's what we will do. A very quick break. When we return, Viv's in your neighborhood. Today, it's a city I know very well. A lot of breweries and things. In Sanford, as you have real estate with us. You own a house, you need to have your windows and sliding glass doors checked right away. I'll tell you why. Joined by my good friend Dan Bringman, Renewal by Anderson. How do I know, Dan, when it's time to have my windows and sliding glass doors checked?
Well, it's a great question because it's not always obvious. One of the ways that sticks out immediately is that energy bill. We have to make, we've seen it go up all year long. Got a couple cool days now. A couple other ways are they're not functioning properly. You have some dust on the seals, and also just water infiltration, or maybe you heard a lot of rattling during some wind and so forth.
Absolutely. QR code is on the screen for you right now. What does it cost to have you and your design team come out and see what's going on with my windows?
Absolutely nothing but your time.
That's a beautiful thing, and they're going to come check it out, tell you exactly what you need or don't need sometimes. But a lot of people say, well, Dan, I'm worried about the economy. I don't want to write a big check right now. You've done amazing things to make this almost free sometimes when you compare it to your electric bill.
Absolutely, and it's a great thing to be concerned about, but we take the worry away. What we've done is we've extended our finance plans, and we call them our easy pay plans, and they go up to 148 months, or 144 months, and we go as low as 5.97. I mean, that's like really low. Most Terms out there go as high as 12, 14%.
And if you think about what you're paying every month versus how you're going to save money on your electricity bill, this is almost free for you and a no-brainer. Dan, always good to see you, buddy. Do yourself a favor right now. Hit the QR code on the screen and call Renewal by Anderson today. Welcome back to the show. Now, we have a lot of great contractors on this show. I am not to be trusted ever with a hammer, ladder, none of that. Just don't trust me with it. That being said, thanks to Renewal by Anderson, Viv goes into your neighborhood every week today. Viv with a hammer in Sanford.
I'm back in Sanford today so that I could share what Habitat for Humanity is doing for some of its deserving recipients. I had the privilege of joining the Cheetah Girls to help on the build of one of Habitat's homes. This was a unique day because all the volunteers were women and part of the Women Build initiative. This home is one of 5 on the same street and happened to be in the framing stage. Our job was to measure and cut the boards for the siding and place them with electric nail guns. Yes, Justin, they trusted me with that. Kim Walker, our team leader, is in her 3rd year of doing this, and I was able to talk to her and David Johnson, our Seminole County property appraiser, who is also on the board for Habitat in our county.
Hi, I'm Kimberly Walker, and I am the team captain for the Cheetah Girls. This is the 3rd year we've been out here, and I am with David Johnson, the Seminole County property appraiser, and also the board chair for Habitat for Humanity.
Yeah, again, I want to thank the Cheetah Girls. They are always one of the most enthusiastic teams with our Women Build, and this is such a great organization. This is why I'm involved, because about 80% of our homeowners are single mothers. And so this day is so very, very important to have women helping women. That's the way it should be. And so again, thank you guys for all your help.
Each team, in addition to volunteering their time, also used this as an opportunity to fundraise. Our team had a goal of $5,000, which we exceeded. The fundraising is important because these funds are used to give grants and pay for expenses in the course of the build. This allows the homeowner to move into a home without cash out of their pocket. It's important to note that the homeowner also has to contribute 200 hours of their time towards the build for the house they are being awarded. It's not just given to them. They have to go through financial training, qualify for a mortgage, apply for county grants that become a lien on the property in addition to their mortgage. They don't pay towards this lien, but it does get reduced in value as the homeowner stays in the property, usually about 10 to 15 years. But the property appraiser's office wraps up the loan package by appraising the home, which in this case would be in the low $300,000 range. This model allows Habitat to initiate and complete more homes for deserving families. The future homeowner spoke to us and shared her story along with the CEO of Seminole and Apopka chapter. Hoping my math skills and measuring was up to par so that they will let me come back next year. If you'd like more information on Habitat for Humanity or Sanford, call me, Vivian Lehman, at 407-205-0400.
Welcome back. Yeah, I mean, great things going on there in Sanford. We love all of our elected officials in Seminole County, and good job, Vivian. And now, someone we have a little thank you and a congratulations to say. Alena Rivera's here, started your own brokerage.
Yeah.
Wow, how did this happen?
You know, I'm just always aiming for that next goal and reaching for the stars, and I love to help people, right? And so I wanted to capture that experience of giving back, but also in training and coaching other agents and just helping them build their business and whatever.
And this show has been about talking to agents and whether you want to get in the business at all or what you do once you get in the business. When you talk to agents out there about, okay, making the transition from one team to another, or even the transition from agent to broker, what do you tell them?
I mean, it all depends on the culture, right? What you're looking for, where you're at, what kind of resources, what kind of training. What sets me apart is I feel that I'm very connected to the community. I'm very involved. I know a lot of people. So if I don't know something, I have a lot of resources around me, a lot of great friends and, you know, entrepreneurs that know a little bit of everything. I say I have a guy for everything. Yeah. But I'm always available. I have that heart that I don't know how to say no. And if it's 9 o'clock at night, you know, sometimes deals, we're working on their schedules, you know, with our clients, with our customers, with the agents. So it's really, you know, I'm available to answer the questions because I know how it feels, right? Yeah. I've been there where you need that help on the spot, or you wish you would have known, you know, now what you know then. Kind of thing, and vice versa. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. If you think about the Central Florida real estate community as a small town, right? Mm-hmm. And you think of the little post office in the middle of the small town, I think Aura is kind of our little post office in the middle of a small town, although we're in a big town, of course. How important has Aura been to your life, and what would you tell younger agents out there about joining Aura? Yeah,
the Orlando Regional Realtor Association, Aura, it's been really fantastic in helping me build my business and just joining committees, serving, volunteering, right? Giver's gain. I have a huge heart to want to serve and advocate. And the Orlando Realtor Association has really helped me develop my professional skills, right? They've helped me with, while serving on different committees, with my public speaking, with, you know, organizing meetings, and just really being a leader, right? To really constantly develop myself and my skills. Yeah. So they offer a lot of different trainings and classes.
Absolutely. We were here on this air last week talking about a very volatile stock market and maybe a volatile economy going on right now. What do you see happening? What do you feel, more importantly, happening in the real estate market here in Central Florida right now?
I mean, we are always busy, right? There's always somebody that wants to either sell or purchase here in Florida. You know, as mentioned earlier, everybody wants to move to Orlando. We have a great prime central location, and it's still affordable compared to other places across the United States, but also in Florida, right? With our average price of a home anywhere from $400,000 to $450,000. You know, if someone sells their property in New York or Miami, they can come here and buy 3-4 properties. Yeah.
How would you describe the market as we sit here today? And here's my understanding. Right now, I think the median price has stayed about the same, yet the average time on market has increased significantly. Now, two and a half years ago, it was not a good time for a buyer. A buyer had no power whatsoever. What are you seeing right now?
Yeah, definitely. Listings are sitting longer. I would say average amount of days on the market are from 45 to 60, 70 days. So what I'm seeing too is some sellers that waited until closer to the summertime, right? Now they're kind of in that jam where, you know, their house isn't selling as quickly as they anticipated because now they need to move, you know, before summer begins or what have you.
Yeah, I think the pendulum has definitely swung to give buyers a little more control and a little more power and flexibility now, but we're also coming up to this spring/summer market, which I think traditionally is pretty good for real estate.
Right. Definitely seeing a lot more buyers come to the market. And I will say, depending on the location, we are seeing multiple offers happening again. Like I was just saying, this past weekend, it was in the 600,000 price range, and there were multiple offers. It was on the market one day. So if it's priced competitively, if it's priced right, you know, but people are willing to pay that if it's in the right location and it has the amenities they're looking for.
If you're a buyer right now, how aggressive should I be in my negotiation?
I would say go for it, especially if it's been sitting on the market more than 30 days. I'd say that's the biggest tool, right? To go in and ask the seller to help you buy down the rate, you know, help pay for closing costs, but definitely does not hurt to ask, right? There's always room for, you know, everybody wants to help each other most oftentimes.
So one goal checked off the list, a broker now. What is the next goal for you?
I want to help other people open up brokerages. So I'm with Exit Realty Premier Legacy, and I want to help other brokers start their own business with the opening a brokerage throughout Florida or wherever it may be. I'm from Minnesota. I even want to get my cousin involved and get her to open up a brokerage up there.
We've got Boston, Detroit, Minnesota.
Yeah, Minnesota.
We all congregate down here in Florida, and rightly so. Alena Rivera, congratulations on the big opening, and you're doing a great job out there.
Thank you.
Very connected. Everyone I know seems to know you as well. So
I love it.
That's helpful in the real estate world for sure.
Absolutely.
Thank you for being here. Here's what we'll do, a very quick break. When we return, let's go visit Ocala. What's going on up in Marion County as You Have Real Estate continues. Welcome back to the show. Really talking a lot today to those of you that are younger agents, but also people who are thinking about becoming an agent and where you hang that shingle, because I think it is a very important decision for you to make When it comes to Marion County, Ocala, Northern Florida, there is one place to hang your shingle. That's Ocala Realty World here with Elisha Lopez. It is an important decision for people, right?
Yeah.
They're getting into real estate, taking a sort of a leap of faith at times. Where you hang that shingle can be very important. What do you tell a young agent?
Well, so it is probably the most important thing because it really is going to, how do you say, like decipher between getting out the gate fast and strong and really learning the business than sitting around just kind of like hoping, wishing, waiting, winging it.
Yeah.
And that's where that 83% of agents within the first 3 years of being in the industry get out because of not hanging it in the right place. What I tell them all the time is that that's how important it is, but you want to know who is in leadership and who is going to teach you, because if they don't have the experience to help you or the want to help you, it's hard.
Sometimes you see these huge national corporations, right? I won't even mention their names. And yeah, you can hang your shingle there and pay them a percentage of what you make, and you get basically access to a copy machine. That's all that you get, maybe a coffee machine as well. Someone like you, who is a smaller local brokerage, it's a completely different world.
It is, and Realty World is actually an international franchise with over 2,000 offices worldwide with their 2 sister companies. But so you get that world exposure in a sense, true international company. But then you also have the local footprint as well. And a brokerage or where you hang your license, that if it's not with someone that has a good footprint in the area and experience, like it's really hard when you walk in that door and sit down with the seller and you can't say how long, you know, your company that's backing you up has been there.
You will admit that there's a difference in a broker who is literally just counting agents. All they care about is agent count. How many agents can we have versus a broker like you who genuinely cares, dare I say, loves every agent that works for you?
There really is, I'd say, quality over quantity, and sometimes it's, as a broker, you have to learn that because you're just like, oh, I need agents, we got to keep the doors open. And as the years go by and the problems you encounter, you realize quality, well, some, but I have realized that quality over quantity is so much less stressful for everybody involved.
So training has always been important for you as well. And by the way, if you're an agent anywhere in Northern Florida, I would highly recommend you reach out to Elisha. And there's a QR code on the screen right now as well. And she'd be happy to talk to you about maybe moving your license over to Ocala Realty World, because the training is really top notch.
It is, and we actually call it teaching from the top, where you learn directly from me. I've 25 years already in the industry, and there's a lot in there, and I share it with everybody. There's no holding back. So an agent to join our brokerage and for them to take advantage of that opportunity to be able to learn from all the years of experience, and then all of our core agents that have been around since the beginning. That's huge.
Real estate seems very easy, and it's quite frankly not easy. It's complicated. Number one, it's complicated to figure out how to get clients, to get listings or buyers. That's a huge thing. That's hard to do. You help your agents figure that part out. But then it's also the problem solving, because getting to that closing table, so many twists and turns on almost every deal, and you have to really learn how to problem solve to get to that closing table.
Oh, absolutely, yes. And emotional intelligence is probably like the best quality to have just as a human being. And in our industry, it's so important to be able to have that emotional intelligence. And what that is like, how do you stay calm in the midst of a storm? Because you're either a deal maker or a deal breaker. That's just like it. And I'd so rather be a deal maker because everybody wins.
So when you're about to send that aggressive text back or that aggressive email back to the agent on the other side, what do you tell your agents? Do you tell them to calm down for a few minutes and then resend it? But that's a very important piece of advice. What do you tell them?
Call me first, text me first, because emotions will, like, they'll really make it or break it. And how many times we see the problems that arise in a deal, it's just all emotions used in the wrong way. And money, unfortunately and fortunately, is the motivator for, it brings out the worst sometimes in people. So being understanding who you have on the other side, but then also don't be that person, because whoever you gave it to, they're going to remember you too.
Totally agree. Elisha Lopez, Ocala Realty World. Great advice. If you're an agent, hang your shingle with her. Or you're looking to invest or buy real estate in Ocala, she's your girl. Thank you to our amazing team. Most importantly, thank you. See you again next week for more You Have Real Estate.
The proceeding was a paid advertisement. The views expressed were the sole responsibility of the advertiser.